In this video, we are going to be solving linear equations that involve two steps. Remember, in the previous video, we discussed the goal of solving an equation. The goal is to have your variable isolated on one side of the equation equal to a constant on the other side of the equation. And when you're working with equations, you're always trying to undo what's being done to your variable. So these equations involve two steps. So our first equation that we're asked to solve is 2/3 x is equal to 12. So I'm going to draw that line down my equal sign so that I can remember whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to be fair and do it to the other. Now, seeing this fraction in front of our variable, which is known as our coefficient, can sometimes be tricky to people. But we can see that our variable, is being multiplied by the numerator 2 and divided by the denominator 3. So when you're working with equations that have fractions, you always want to eliminate the denominator first. So I have a denominator of 3, which means I'm dividing by 3. So I want to get rid of dividing by 3 first. The opposite of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. So I'm going to multiply each side of my equation by 3. Well, 3 on top divided by 3 on the bottom cancels out. It makes a 1, which leaves me with just 2x on the left side is equal to 12 times 3 is 36. Now my variable is being multiplied by 2. So the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by 2. Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that leaves me with 1x is equal to 36 divided by 2 is 18. So my solution is 18. Now I'm going to go ahead and just check this one so you can see how you would check something with a fraction. So I'm going to replace the x in the original equation with 18. So 2/3 times 18 is equal to 12. Now remember, if I put a 1 underneath that 18, then I can just multiply top times top and bottom times bottom. So 2 times 18 is 36, and 3 times 1 is 3. So 36 over 3 is equal to 12. And 36 divided by 3 simplifies to 12 on the left is equal to 12 on the right. Because I got a true statement, one side equals the other side, that tells me that my solution works. Equation number 7. We have 2x minus 3 is equal to 7. So what we want to do is we want to get our constants together on the same side. So I'm going to leave my variable term alone, and I'm just going to get rid of the negative 3. Well, the opposite of a minus 3 or a negative 3 would be a positive 3. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides of the equation. Well, minus 3 and plus 3 cancel each other out. So that leaves me with the 2x all by itself on the left side of the equation is equal to 7 plus 3 is 10. Now I have to get rid of multiplying by 2. So the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by 2. 2 divided by 2 leaves me with 1x is equal to 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my solution is x is equal to 5. Problem number 8. We have negative 9x plus 7 is equal to negative 38. So remember, we're trying to get our constants together on the same side because all our x's are together on the left side. We don't have x's anywhere else. So I want to get rid of that positive 7. So the opposite of a plus 7 would be a minus 7. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides of my equation. The plus 7 and the minus 7 zero out, and I'm just left with negative 9x is equal to negative 38, and a negative 7 leaves me with negative 45. Now I need to get rid of multiplying by negative 9. So the opposite of multiplying by negative 9 is dividing by negative 9. Well, negative 9 divided by negative 9 is 1x, so x is equal to negative 45 divided by negative 9 is a positive 5. So my solution is x is equal to 5. So be careful if your coefficient, that number in front of x, has a negative in front, then you need to divide both sides by a negative. So whatever is your coefficient, whatever that coefficient looks like, is what you need to divide both sides by to finally solve for x.